In the previous lesson, we reviewed our current security implementation in our Spring JPA Charity Registration Jakarta Enterprise Edition 8 web application. We will now migrate our web app to make full use of Spring Security. This is our lesson objectives. We will identify the security gaps in our existing authentication approach. Then we will gradually integrate Spring Security with the SecurityFilterChain and JDBC-based authentication. We will migrate our custom login flow in our AuthenticationController to Spring Security's form login. We will use our existing user admin table as the data source, and we will understand our code updates and test them incrementally. Here is our current security gaps. Cross-site request forgery protection. We don't have any tokens in our forms, and Spring can handle this automatically for us. Then session fixation attacks. We're already using request change session ID, but Spring Security offers a standard configurable approach. Our current concurrent session is not limited. Spring Security can manage maximum sessions per users. Currently, our passwords are stored in plain text in our database, and Spring Security uses password hashing, bcrypt out of the box. Then we have not covered role-based authorization yet, but once again, Spring Security supports roles and authorities out of the box. Obviously, we'll start with all the Spring Security dependencies that we'll need to add to our project. So we'll go over to Eclipse and we look at our pom.xml file. And here is all the added Spring Security dependencies. We have web, config, crypto, and tag libraries. Now we'll transition over to our course documentation. You can get a link here in the description. We already went through our lesson objectives. We already covered our current security gaps, and this is the step we just performed. We added the Maven dependencies, and now we'll look at basic Spring Security setup. This is what our security config class will look like. We use a filter chain with authorize request for login and resources. We have a form login that on success defaults to the list of charity registration. On error, it goes back to the login page. And then we have a logout logic for success to the login with the logout. We enable our cross-site request forgery protection, and we enable maximum sessions of 1. Here is the encryption we use for our username and password. And here is our user details bean service that gets the username and password from the user admin table in our database. And here is the set authorities. It gets all the roles. Next up, we will demonstrate running code where we visit the login. We will see how our new Spring Security perform, and we will use our unprotected user admin table users. Here we are back in Eclipse. We have our updated POM file. Now let's take a look at our security config file. Filter chain, request, login. For now, we are not using the bcrypt password in here. Look at our login JSP. Have login failed and errors handler up top, form, post login password, button. Then we have our existing authentication controller mapping for our login. We have form, we have our logout, and here is our backend login. So now let's build and run our application. Compiling our root POM. Cleaning our project. Run as. Bring web 539. Finish. Looking at our console output. That was quite verbose. Now we'll log in with one of our known passwords. So we've successfully logged in and we get a list of all our charity registration. We can create a new one. We can chat with support. We can view our chat request, list our existing sessions, only me, and log out. Now we'll transition back to our slideshow. This is where we were. We just looked at our demonstration. As noted, we did not encode our table. So what we need to do next is create a utility that will encrypt all our passwords. And then inside our database, we will update the user admin table username and password with the encrypted password. Once we've done that, we will comment out or remove the AuthenticationController post login logic because it's no longer needed. Spring Security now automatically handles validating credentials against the user admin table for us. It redirects to the success URL or back to the login error page, and it creates the principal in our HTTP session. Our current login.jsp form remains unchanged. It's automatically handled by Spring Security. So here is our recap. We have added cross-site request forgery protection. Simply added to our config file. Same with session fixation protection through session management session ID. We've limited our concurrent sessions to 1, and we'll leave this for self-study. Our password is securely stored with encryption. So here is some future tasks for us. We will migrate the other filters to Spring Security Filter Chain. We will add role-based access control, and we can externalize LDAP OIDC integration or corporate login. And that concludes this tutorial. I will see you in the next one.